All right, happy Friday. Wow, what a day yesterday. So we've got a full 15 game slate today. Let's get into the recap. The Tigers, I can't believe they beat Cleveland. Cleveland just couldn't come through. We went 7-1, almost had the sweep. Would have been a monster sweep there. The old psycho parlay. We were one leg short. Would have been huge. But on the day, pretty good. We finished up 4.72 units. The only one we didn't hit was the Guardians. Now, I will say, we were basing that on the assumption that Kenta Maeda was pitching. He did not. It just ended up being a full bullpen game, which sucks. Still don't think I changed my mind on that game. But, hate to see it. Everything else hit. We had some sweaty spots. The Orioles had a 5-run lead with 2 innings left and ended up blowing it. So they ended up winning it in the 10th. So that got real sweaty. The Mets ended up having to go to the 10th to win it. Lindor hit a 2-run homer off Sale, so it was 2-2 going into the 10th. I'm not sure what happened, but I do know that the Braves made some type of base running mistake. They did have a runner on third, one out, and then he got out. So not real sure what happened there though. But Mets ended up coming back to win it. Got kind of lucky there to win it. Oakland started off hot, 2 runs in the first inning, and then the Angels turned around and put up like 5 in the third. And then the A's come back, hit a 2-run homer. Then they score 2 more. Final score was 6-5. It was looking like, at one point the over/under was at 17. So it was looking like quite the shootout there. But pretty good there. We hit the Padres run line. Dylan Cease threw a no-no. They only got runs in the first inning, which screwed our Nerfy. But that's okay. Ray's first 5 was sweat-free. Taj Bradley is, like I said yesterday, best pitcher in the MLB right now. Couldn't convince me otherwise. Dude is just absolutely dominant. Blew right through that 4.5K prop line. That was an easy dub. Toronto first 3 under .5 runs. It was my favorite play of the day yesterday at plus 124. And the first inning was the sweatiest. I think he had runners on first and second, 1 out. Worked his way out of it. Innings 2 and 3, sweat free. Dodgers first 5 minus a half. A little sweaty with Clayton Kershaw coming back. Did give up a few runs, but the Dodgers came back, outscored them, so we hit that. So awesome there. Our Nerfies didn't hit. The Braves Mets Nerfie did hit. The Tampa Bay Toronto Nerfie was a little frustrating. 2 strikes, 2 outs, and dude hit a solo home run for Tampa Bay. So GG on that one. And then the Padres and Nats, that was kind of a weird one. Gore walked a couple, gave up a hit. Then they had a lengthy, probably a 45 to an hour rain delay, and then came back out, and it was like a full count, bases loaded with 2 outs, and ended up giving up, I think, a double that scored 3. So, and that was the only runs for the game. So quite an interesting day. But we did hit the Oakland Tampa Bay Mets parlay for plus 652. So that was huge, obviously. But overall, really good day. Personally, up quite a bit. I was up about 16 units. Had Cleveland won, it would have been literally 90. So would have been a hell of a day. But let's get into the tracker. So obviously, we had the loss the day before, so we got that back plus a little extra to help make up for kind of that 2-day in a row loss. But overall, good, right? We've had 4 profitable days, 3 losses, but 2 of them were pretty minimal. So overall, we'll take it. Interesting slate today. So first game on the card, Guardians and Phillies. You just instantly want to fade Cleveland based on how they've been playing and their inability to score runs. But Phillies kind of right there in the same boat. Sanchez at home. I'm always going to play Sanchez at home. 1.5 home ERA. Lively's got a 4.27 away ERA. I think the earned run line for Lively is at 3.5. I kind of looked at that as a prop, but Philly's just one of those teams, you don't really want to F with them. They can just come out and put it on them. So it's hard for me to not take Philly here. I hate paying minus 170, but Philly at home, a Cleveland team that's struggling. The Phillies' bats have been really bad, though. I mean, technically, from a hitting standpoint, Phillies are worse, but at home, I can't fade them, especially 37-16 record. Got to take Phillies here. All right, next game, Twins and Tigers. We've got Pablo Lopez going up against Cater Montero. This Montero guy's not good. That said, really the only good game that he's pitched so far has been against the Twins back in June, I believe, and he pitched outstanding. They ended up winning. That said, second time facing this guy, he doesn't have anything special. I just don't see the Twins losing this, but who knows? Could happen. But yeah, give me Lopez on the road versus Montero. This guy, like I said, he's been getting hit quite hard against every other team. So I will take the Twins there. All right, next game, Reds and Rays. Rays coming off of a beautiful game yesterday, dominant win. I think it was like 12-0, something like that. It took forever. That's all I know. And then we got some news last night that Randy Arozarena, however you say his name, got traded to the Mariners. So they did lose a big bat. That said, he's hitting like 211 on the year, so he hasn't exactly been crushing it. But that's got to be a little bit of a blow mentally, and then there's some talks of some other trades for Tampa Bay as well. So there's some sketchiness around that. Nick Lodolo going up against Shane Baz. Shane Baz has had really one good start, and he's had two kind of not good starts. He's got a 6.23 home ERA. However, can't read. That's one home start versus the Yankees, and the Yankees hit him pretty hard. And that was when they were. I mean, they're still struggling, but they were in that funk there. If we look at the split on Baz, he's got a weak spot against lefties. Lefties are hitting 364 against him. Reds are projected to have 4 left-handed bats in the lineup. If we look at Lodolo, he also is a little weak lefty on lefty, but Tampa Bay is only projected to have 1 left-handed hitter in the lineup. So. Lodolo, I love Lodolo. I'm a little nervous. Last outing against the Nats, he went 1 out into the 7th inning, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 8 Ks. Those earned runs came early. I think he's going to have a pretty good day. I think Tampa Bay traveling back from Toronto. Reds have had the day off. They should be well rested. This just feels very much like a Red spot. I like the direction they're trending. If we look at the pitch splits, the Reds against right-handers are hitting the fastball well. They're hitting the slider well. They're hitting the curveball well. If we look at the last, 10 right-handed pitchers to face the Reds, they've been just destroying right-handed hitters. If we just go back over the last 5 pitchers, they got 7 off of Winans. They got 4 off of Ronaldo Lopez. They got 2 off of Jake Irving, 7 off Cabrera, 7 off Chirinos, 5 off Cantrell. So they've actually just been torching right-handed pitching. So it's really hard to not take them when we look at these splits. They've just been insanely good against right-handed pitching. And this guy, like I said, nothing special here, nothing that scares me. So I imagine at some point today the Reds have to shift to be favorites. It just doesn't make sense. All right, next game. Padres-Orioles. Adam Mazur going up against Grayson Rodriguez. I don't love Grayson Rodriguez. It's not like I have a ton of faith in him. But against Adam Mazur, they should get the job done. This guy has given up at least 4 earned runs in 5 of his 7 starts this year. At least 4 runs. 4+. So I expect the Orioles to tee off on him today. Orioles are hitting well. That said, so are the Padres, but yesterday really didn't do much against Patrick Corbin. So we'll see. I imagine, there was some celebrations last night with the Dylan Cease no-hitter. I expect them to come out a little flat today. I don't think they're going to be 100% physically today. So I really like them. I like the Orioles to get the job done today. You could look at a run line, especially, plus money. So I think that's a possibility today. I think they do potentially come out a little flat. All right, next game, Rangers, Blue Jays. This line's, it doesn't make sense to me. It's a really weird line. I'm not really sure why the Rangers aren't favorited here. So Andrew Heaney has been pitching really, really well. 2 earned runs or less in his last 5 starts. If we look at Heaney, his weak spot is left-handed hitters. Left-handed hitters are hitting 407 off of him. That said, Blue Jays only have 2 left-handed hitters projected to be in the lineup. So Kikuchi has just been terrible. There's no nice way of putting it. He's been getting rocked almost every start lately. And I don't think the home field advantage really matters for much here, to be honest, especially after Toronto just got smacked around the yard yesterday. So if we look at their splits against lefties, Toronto's not hitting them. 152 over the last 2 weeks, 138 over the last week. Conversely, Rangers bats are heating up. They're hitting 326 over the past 7 days against lefties, 288 over the past 2 weeks. So they've got a great WRC plus. K rate's kind of middle of the road. They're getting a decent amount of walks. I just feels like such a beautiful spot to take the Rangers here. So I'm taking Rangers. You could also take the over. I mean, the only way I can see the Rangers losing is if the over hits. So I like the over there. All right, next game, Braves Mets. We were on the Mets yesterday. Everybody else was on the Braves. Based on how the lines kept moving towards the Braves closer to game time, which made me a little nervous. Had a decent amount on that Mets game, so that was a sweaty one. Today we've got Charlie Morton going up against Kodai Senga. Senga's making his first start of the year. Last start was not good. His last rehab start, he went 3 innings, gave up 5 earned runs and 8 hits, and he walked 3. So he threw 76 pitches. They are projecting him to throw, 5 innings, 80-ish pitches. That's kind of where they see him tonight. The thing for him was his splitter was horrendous in that rehab start. And that's kind of his bread and butter. If the splitter's not working, he's going to get rocked all around the yard. So, I was backing Kershaw yesterday, making his rehab start was really good. I just don't see it here. I think this guy gives up runs. We did see the Braves offense really start to kind of take off last night. They out-hit the Mets. I think it was like 7-3, 7-4, 8-4, something like that. So they actually were hitting the ball. This feels like a really good spot for the Braves to squeak one out here. Morton has actually had a lot of success against the Mets. His last outing against them was on May 10th, went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. So I actually think he gets the job done here. I could see the over hitting for sure. 7.5 against these two pitchers is really, really low. So I do like the over in this situation. I think the Braves have a bullpen advantage over the Mets. I know the Mets on paper are hitting better. We really didn't see a lot of that last night, but they had a very difficult matchup against Chris Sale. So, to me, this is just more fading Senga. I think he gets rocked for probably 4 or 5. If he's struggling to get AAA hitters out, good luck trying to get major league hitters out. But that's probably not a game I'll touch, to be honest. All right, next game, Yankees-Red Sox. Another game, to be honest, I want nothing to do with. You've got 2 just pitchers that have been horrendous lately going up against each other, Nestor Cortes and Brian Bello. Cortes a 6 away ERA, Bello a 6 home ERA. So if we look at Cortes versus the Red Sox on July 5th, he went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks. It's the only good start he had in July. So every other start he had was horrendous. We look at Bello, versus the Yankees. The Yankees are hitting 311 off of him, 19 for 61 with 1 home run. Maybe a prop thing you could keep an eye on would be Ref Snyder has he's 6 for 13 off of Cortes, and then Devers is 3 for 14, which isn't great. But of those 3 hits, 2 have been home runs. So if there is a home run prop today, that might be something you might want to sprinkle a little bit on. I would lean Yankees here. I don't like Bello. I think Bello at home is just horrendous. But you've got 2 teams that are very sporadic offensively. You've got 2 pretty bad pitchers right now. The over. I guess the over should be really, really safe versus these 2 teams. But in terms of picking a winner, it's a coin flip to me. All right, next game, Cubs and Royals. Love the Royals in the spot. Hendricks, historically versus Kansas City, not good. Kansas City's hitting 354 off of him, 23 for 65 with 3 home runs. and Hendricks is just not a good pitcher, let's be honest. Singer is a much better pitcher at home than he is away. I like the way he is trending lately. He is pitching really well, and we've seen the Royals' bats start to come back to life, and I don't think it's a coincidence that they've been home for 2 series. So I don't really see a spot to take the Cubs here. Plus 124 just isn't juicy enough for me to back a Royals team that's been really good at home. You could maybe look at a Nerfy. There's no way in hell I'd take it, but it's a possibility. The only issue with Singer, he does struggle a little bit against lefty bats. There are some lefties in that lineup that can, hit the ball out of the ballpark, so that is a little scary. But I just don't see a path at plus 124 to take the Cubs here. All right, next game, Marlins and Brewers. This is an interesting one. The good old Marlins, the really difficult to handicap fishies at plus 190. Brewers at minus 230 with Freddie Peralta. I don't have enough faith in Peralta to take the Brewers at minus 230. Right? If we look at Peralta, he did pitch very well against Miami last time, May 22nd. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. That said, Peralta at home, very spotty. He's got a 4.5 home ERA. Rogers, very similar away ERA. That said, Rogers has been pitching really, really well. If we look at his last 8 starts, he's had 2 or less earned runs in 7 of the last 8. And most likely this will be his last start as a Marlin. I would say it's extremely likely he gets traded. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets traded today, honestly. There's a chance that he doesn't make this start today. So I got to keep that in mind as well. But Rogers did pitch against Milwaukee on May 21st. He went 3.2 innings, 6 hits for 4 earned runs. So did get rocked by him. So something to think about there. But he's had 4 starts versus Milwaukee. That's the only start where he's giving up more than 1 run. So in the other 3 starts against Milwaukee over his career, he's given up 1 or less runs. So positives there. I just don't trust the Brewers. I don't trust the Brewers. We look at their last 3 games, they're averaging 1.67 runs. So I love the Nerfy in this spot. I think it's a really, really good Nerfy spot. And we do have some plays on the Marlins that we're going to talk about. But I'm just not taking the Brewers at minus 230 here. I don't trust them enough for a run line play, and minus 230 is just too heavy for that team. All right, next game, Mariners at the White Sox. The Seattle can't score a run Mariners. Somehow the White Sox have averaged 1.67 runs over their last 3 games. And, they're 167% better than the Mariners. So we've got a struggling Mariners offense going up against a pretty good pitcher. I like this Thorpe guy. Doesn't throw hard. He's almost like Luis Castillo, actually. His changeup is nasty. Very similar to Luis Castillo. If we look at Kirby, he actually did face the White Sox last August, and he struggled. He went 5.2 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 9 Ks. If we look at Thorpe, he's got a 3 ERA. He's given up 2 earned runs or less in 6 of his 7 starts. So he's made 7 starts on the year. He had 1 bad start earlier in the year, but he's been really solid. Same thing for Kirby, though. He's 2 or less earned runs in 8 of 9 starts this year. So we've got 2 pretty good pitchers going up against each other. 2 struggling offenses, hitting 173 and 166 versus right-handers respectively over the last 7 days. And both teams are hitting 175 over the last 2 weeks. So just horrendous offenses and pretty good pitchers going up against each other. I don't really know how you take the Mariners at minus 155 here. It's a White Sox play. They've lost 11 in a row, but I actually kind of like that. It feels like they're due at home. Obviously, the Nerfy is beautiful here. It's got to be the number 1 Nerfy play of the day. It was at minus 145. Most likely will go up as we get closer to the start of the game. I would take White Sox at plus money. All right, Dodgers, Astros. Tough game to handicap. Gavin Stone going up against Framber Valdez. If we look at Stone, right-handed hitters are hitting 364 off of him. Astros are projected to have 6 right-handed hitters in the lineup. That said, Valdez struggles against righties. But if we look at the power, from the Dodgers, it's from the left-handed side. So I would lean Astros just simply because they are, they're a pretty decent home team. They do have a potent offense, so ultimately I don't like the game. I maybe lean the over 8 would probably be the way I would go, but not a game I plan on touching at all today. All right, next game, Cards at Nats. Nats coming off getting no hit by Dylan Cease, traveling to St. Louis. Cards had a day off. They've got Sonny Gray on the hill going up against Mackenzie Gore. Clear spot to take the Cardinals here. I like Sonny Gray. We have seen the Nats really struggle offensively over the last 2 series, hitting 209 over the last 2 weeks, 172 over the past week. Cardinals aren't hitting a ton better, but we have seen them obviously hit better than the Nats. And if we look at the pitch splits for Gore, it doesn't look great. The Cardinals are very good at hitting a slider curveball and the changeup. Conversely, the Nats are pretty good at hitting the fastball and the cutter, which are 2 primary pitches for Sonny Gray. But if we look at Sonny Gray, versus the Nats over his career, he's had a lot of success. So really hard to fade him here. Beautiful Nerfy spot. You've got the worst ranked team and the 5th worst rank in terms of first inning runs. Gore is, I believe, 11-0 on, or I can't remember exactly what it is, but he hasn't given up a first inning run yet. And Sonny Gray, I think Sonny's done it 1 time. So combined, they've nerfied every time but 1. So it's a beautiful spot to take a nerfy here all day with these 2 teams who offensively really don't scare me at the moment. But I think the Cards get it done today. All right, A's and Angels. I'm taking A's. But I'll be honest, it feels like an Angels spot. But it's really hard to not back the Athletics the way they're hitting right now. But my gut says it's probably an Angels spot. But I'm not going to fade a hot team. I think the Nerfy's a good play here. Paul Blackburn has not given up a first inning run. And I think Fulmer's only done it. He might have been perfect as well, but good spot to take a Nerfy if you're interested. The pitch splits kind of favor Blackburn. Fulmer should have some issues with the cutter. Doesn't throw a lot of curves, but hard to fade the A's the way they're playing right now. They're actually just tearing the cover off the ball, averaging 5 runs a game. That said, Angels are averaging 4, and they're coming from playing the Mariners, where it's very difficult to score runs. So, wouldn't be shocked if the A's win. Wouldn't be shocked if the Angels won. So probably not a game I'm gonna bet today. Just Paul Blackburn, Carson Fulmer, doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me. All right, next game, Pirates Diamondbacks. So there's no official pitcher listed for the Diamondbacks. I believe it's going to be Zach Gallen. Based on this line, you would think it's got to be Zach Gallen. Pirates are throwing Luis Ortiz. Guy has been a stud. He's got a 2.31 road ERA, just 1 bad, really, road start is all he's had the entire year. He's given up 1 or less earned run in 8 of 9 starts. So, guy's been dealing. Zach Gallen is susceptible at home. He's got a 3.35 ERA at home. I don't really see a path to take the Diamondbacks at minus 170. Offensively, they don't scare me too bad. I mean, if we look at the damage that the Diamondbacks typically do, it's from the left side. This Ortiz guy, lefties are hitting under 100 off of him. So to me, the damage is from the left. This guy's really good with lefties. Give me the Pirates at plus 142 here. Like I said, with the Diamondbacks, oftentimes, I said this their last home series, their bats just go ice cold at home. So I feel like we're about to have that happen today. That said, this guy could get lit up on the fastball. The Diamondbacks are the number 1 hitting team over the last 30 days hitting righty fastballs. So they could get lit up. But like I said, the splits against this guy with lefties, that gives me a lot of confidence that they'll get it done. If you're not sure, you could take the first 5 under. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I don't think the Pirates are going to go blow them out of the water. They are not hitting righties well over the past week. But I just like them to get the job done here. Just a gut feeling. All right, next game, Giants-Rockies. Kyle Freeland. I just haven't played him the last start or 2. Before that, we were fading him, and he bit us in the ass. That said, this guy has faced This guy's already faced the Giants 3 times this season. This is going to be his fourth start against San Francisco this season. So if we go to his last start, they got to him. That was on July 20th. So 6 days ago, he faced them. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. But really, prior to that, they didn't hit him. They've had some struggles against him. So we've got this lefty on lefty matchup going. I would lean Giants just simply because Harrison has had some success against Colorado. Um, I think I put Harrison here, but that should be Freeland, but whatever. So they've had some success. I don't really trust the Rockies' offense. That said, probably a game I'm going to fade. I mean, this is very coin flippy, I suppose. Yeah, you could definitely make a case to take the Rockies at plus 154. Let me put it that way. So ultimately, just a game I'm just going to fade personally. Don't trust either offense. All right, let's talk about best bets. I've highlighted the ones. These are my top ones. So whatever's highlighted would be my, quote unquote top plays. So I highlighted 3 plays that I like today, and that's going to be the Reds race to 3. I just think given how the Reds have gotten to almost every right-handed hitter that's been thrown at them, and Lodolo has been pretty solid, I think there's a really good bet that the Reds hit 3 before them, and we're getting plus money. So love that spot. The other best bet would be the Rangers money line. Like I said, we just saw Toronto get smoked by Tampa Bay. Rangers are hot right now. The sticks are really starting to come around. Haney has been pitching really well. Kikuchi is terrible. So give me Rangers money line there. And then the other one I like is a 3-leg parlay with the Royals, Orioles, and Twins. Combine those both, it's plus 304. So those are my 3 best bets right there. Other bets I like. I like the Orioles to score the first run against the Padres. I feel like as long as the Padres don't score in the first inning, the Orioles should. So we just need to get 3 outs from Grayson Rodriguez most likely, given how many damn earned runs that Missouri's given up. Then I like the Pirates first 5 at plus 124. So we're not taking the half run. We're just taking them straight up first 5. So if they tie, we just push. And then the other bet I like is the Royals race to 3 at minus 110. I mean, I could see them getting that done first, second inning off of Hendricks. So really like that. Nerfy play I like. This is a 3-banger. You could drop it down to a 2. So I like the Cardinals and Nats. Pair that with the Mariners White Sox. And then I went Miami and Milwaukee. If you want to omit that, the first 2 would be right around plus 200. I just like the juice of that third. I think Rogers and Peralta should be able to get out of that first inning. You could also do Pittsburgh and Arizona in there. So I really like all these Nerfies today. So we'll see what happens there. Another parlay I like would be Phillies, Reds, Rangers. Pair those 3 together at plus 551. And then the last one, I actually really, really like this. I think there's a lot of value here. It's just kind of a weird one. You're taking the White Sox plus 2. You're taking Miami first 5 plus 1.5. So as long as they're not losing by 2 after 5, we win that leg. And then we're taking the Cardinals money line. Pair those 3 together at plus 304. I really like it. I don't know if this is my favorite one today, but I actually really, really like this line. I think it's very achievable. And then fun parlay. So we've got a little 5-banger. We got the Royals, Orioles, Twins, Phillies, Cardinals plus 928. And then I thought I was going to do a psycho parlay. After yesterday, we came so close. But this feels like an upset day to me. I see a lot of potential upsets on this card. So I put together the 4 that I felt were most likely to hit. So that would be the Reds, the Rangers, the White Sox, and the Pirates. You combine those 4 together, it's plus 2,241. So if there's a leg in there you don't like, take it out. It's probably still going to be somewhere around maybe 800, somewhere in there. So pretty high. Props I like today. 3 top props I like are Brady Singer over 4.5 Ks. I like Drew Thorpe under 2.5 earned runs. 2.5 earned runs against the Mariners is fucking ludicrous. I don't know if they're going to score 3 runs in the series, let alone in like 5 innings. So I like that one a lot. And then Singa over 1.5 base on balls. This guy's hit this. If we go back to 2023, he hit it in 10 of 10 starts last year. So I doubt he's going to struggle to hit this line, considering he likes to walk a lot of people, and I think that splitter is going to be off. He's going to keep trying to find it. Probably going to have some walks. Very heavily juiced at minus 204. I would say maybe combine the three of those together, combine two of the three, however you want to do it there. And then obviously I've got the two top nerfies there. Let's have a good day. I feel like it's going to be a decent day. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I like the cards. I feel like good reads there, but time will tell. So if you haven't yet, give the video a thumbs up. And if not, subscribe to the channel. It's free. It helps me. And I'll catch you guys next video.